the state of the city. It is that time of year when we sort of reflect and talk about the state of our wonderful Highland Park. And so I just have a couple of comments I'd like to share. Thank you for the opportunity to present the 2022 State of the City of Highland Park. In reflecting on the past year, gratitude is the first word that comes to mind. First and foremost, I know we're all grateful to live and serve in a community as engaged and dynamic as ours. Over the last 2 years, Highland Park residents have truly risen to meet the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic and its health and economic consequences. Before I continue, I'd like to recognize my City Council colleagues, Tony Bloomberg, Michelle Holloman, Annette Littler, Kim Stone, Adam Stolberg, and Andres Tapia. I'm grateful every day for the partnership, integrity, and commitment that each member of our team contributes. I'm also grateful for the leadership and dedication of our staff, especially City Manager Gita Newkirk and the senior staff whose hard work and professionalism have kept our city operating and flourishing during these uncertain times. And thank you as well to our first responders, our essential workers, for continuing to put themselves at risk to keep each and every one of us safe. So I think it's important to note that in challenging times, the role of government at all levels is to provide consistent guidance, transparent leadership in the service of our communities. Nowhere is that more important than at the local level, where decisions frequently have an immediate impact on the daily lives of our neighbors. With the strategic planning and careful administration of our city's financial resources, we're beginning this new year with our 11th balanced operating budget in a row. I think it's important to note that our most important policy document, the city's budget, serves many purposes. It identifies the scope of work for a given year, summarizes our strong approach to fiscal management, and establishes long-term priorities for a sustainable and resilient future. So we entered 2021 with a great sense of optimism. The first vaccinations for healthcare workers and first responders had just been delivered, and plans were underway to roll out COVID-19 vaccinations to the general public. At the city, we were grateful to partner with Jewel Osco Pharmacy to host a vaccination clinic that served some of our most vulnerable neighbors. Because we prioritized vaccination in the spring, we were able to savor summer with the return of beloved events, including Food Truck Thursdays, the Bitter Jester Music Festival, Ravinia Festival, and a fabulous fireworks display over Labor Day weekend. We also solemnly and thoughtfully marked the 20th anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 terror attacks with a ceremony of remembrance and gratitude for the first responders in our community who answered the call to serve in the immediate emergency response. We invested heavily in efforts to support our community of small businesses, understanding that they bore the brunt of the economic impact of the pandemic, continuing our efforts through waived fees, the administration of a grant program, and expedited permit reviews. We also launched a wide-ranging marketing campaign to showcase all that our city has to offer our residents and our region. Through listening sessions for the new business development strategic plan, you shared your priorities and vision for the future of our community, and we look forward to bringing those to fruition. On behalf of all of our businesses, thank you for your continued support throughout the pandemic. Every time you order in from a restaurant or buy from a local shop, you're helping to sustain our local economy and you're investing back into our community. 2022 has begun with a number of exciting projects already in progress or just over the horizon, including the demolition of the existing Ravinia Fire Station and the construction of a new state-of-the-art facility. New housing developments are attracting new neighbors to homes in the heart of the Central Business District and elsewhere in the city, including the project currently underway at the former Saks Fifth Avenue building. These new developments highlight the appeal of Highland Park's pedestrian-friendly, vibrant downtown and take advantage of zoning changes that have made our community even more attractive to developers. Later this spring, the new Clavey Road Bridge will reopen ahead of the second phase of construction, which will bring a new mixed-use path to enhance pedestrian and bicyclist access and enjoyment of our city. And this year, we'll continue the important and ongoing work of creating a more just and equitable society, building on partnerships and existing programs that prioritize community engagement evaluating existing policies and procedures through an equity audit, and listening carefully to feedback from our neighbors of color, our LGBTQ residents and immigrant community. More than anything, we are all looking forward to gathering together as a city, and to that end, I'm excited to share that in response to your feedback, we're embarking on an exciting new project to create an event space in the heart of downtown Highland Park that will open this summer with a fun, family-friendly slate of special events all summer long. And while there isn't a blueprint to transition into a new normal, we're fortunate to have strong, constant guideposts in our city's 4 core priorities: public safety, fiscal stability, infrastructure investment, and community vibrancy. Over the last 2 years, these principles have helped us make difficult decisions, prioritize work, and be nimble and flexible. We're always learning, we're always evaluating, and we're always ready to implement new strategies to work more effectively for you. Your feedback is critical to our success, and I hope you'll consider joining the city and elected and administrative professionals of the other governments serving Highland Park residents at our annual neighborhood meetings this spring. Information about these virtual meetings is available on our website at cityhpil.com. Your thoughts, your ideas, your comments, your critiques are welcome and vital to the long-term success of our community. We're also successful because of the partnership with our sister governments, faith communities, and the nonprofit organizations and other community partners serving our residents. Thank you to all of our partners for the tremendous support and collaboration over this past year. Together, we've pursued efficiencies and implemented new initiatives to benefit our community and to provide an informed, unified response to the challenges of this pandemic. Our work together has truly been vital in the short term, and I know will yield a multitude of benefits in the long term. The great African-American poet and Chicagoan Gwendolyn Brooks famously, movingly wrote, "We are each other's harvest. We are each other's business. We are each other's magnitude and bond." That is the challenge we all must meet as we turn our attention to defining our new normal. We are all tired of pandemic protocols and mitigations, ready to leave it all behind and get back to the people and activities we love. And yet, as some of our community members remain severely vulnerable to this virus, which continues to spread widely in our area, leaving behind the sacrifices of the last 2 years is a luxury we just don't have yet. As a consequence of this difficult time, that we as a nation are experiencing increasing tensions between those who share a difference of approach to such a complex topic. We're not immune to those tensions in Highland Park. I think we can all think of a time where we reacted with anger or frustration instead of compassion when engaging with a neighbor whose approach to the pandemic or any other important issue differed from our own. But Highland Park is a community of leaders. In our community, we come together around our shared values, even when we disagree. We honor that difference of opinion and we unite behind a common goal: the health, safety, and peace of those we love. We do what's right instead of what's easiest. And when that which is right is in tension with what we desire, we still also choose what's right. Sometimes, as now, we're faced with a moment where we must sacrifice in service to others. We are each other's harvest. We sow seeds of justice and compassion, weather the storms that come our way, and reap the rewards as a community. That commitment to each other, neighbor to neighbor, is what makes our community a truly special place to live, work, and visit. It is an absolute privilege for all of us to represent you, and I thank you for listening this evening. Thank you. And with that, I will continue with one more statement, and then we will have business from the public. And that is the following. We are pleased that the Illinois Department of Public Health is reporting a continuing drop in the number of COVID cases and positivity levels, relieving the strain on our healthcare system. Because of these positive public health metrics, the council and I determined that the temporary mitigation measure of requiring proof of vaccine for indoor dining is no longer needed, effective today. And we greatly appreciate our partnership with our Highland Park restaurants as we've continued to work together to keep the public safe during the COVID pandemic. And I'll say it again, we still urge everyone who has not yet been vaccinated to do so in an effort to protect themselves and our community.